How long does shock loss last after FUE hair transplant? If you've recently had an FUE hair transplant, you might be wondering how long the shedding, known as shock loss, will last. Shock loss is a common part of the hair restoration process and happens because the hair follicles are temporarily affected during the procedure. Typically, shock loss begins around 2 to 4 weeks after the transplant. This shedding occurs because the trauma from extracting and implanting follicles causes some hairs to enter a resting phase called telogen effluvium. Most patients notice the most significant shedding between weeks 3 and 8 after the procedure. The shedding usually peaks around 6 weeks, then gradually diminishes. By about 2 to 3 months, many people see a reduction in shedding, and new hair growth starts to appear. It's important to remember that this phase is temporary. The follicles are not damaged permanently, they are just in a resting state, and new hair will grow back over time. In general, shock loss lasts about 2 to 4 months. Some patients may experience shock loss for slightly longer, up to 3 months, but this varies depending on individual healing and the extent of the transplant. The good news is that most of the shedding is temporary, and the transplanted hairs, along with the existing ones, will resume growth. New hair usually begins to grow back around 3 to 4 months after the transplant. Significant improvement can be seen by 6 months, with full maturation of the new hair taking up to 12 to 18 months. The duration and severity of shock loss can be minimized by choosing an experienced surgeon who uses the minimally invasive FUE technique, which tends to cause less trauma and reduce the risk of extensive shock loss. Proper postoperative care is also essential. Following your surgeon's instructions, avoiding smoking and alcohol, and possibly using supportive treatments like topical minoxidil or platelet-rich plasma therapy can help promote faster recovery. Remember, individual experiences can vary, and some people may see quicker or longer-lasting shock loss than others. In summary, shock loss after an FUE hair transplant generally lasts about 2 to 4 months. The shedding peaks around 6 weeks and gradually improves. New hair growth usually begins around 3 to 4 months, with full results becoming visible within 1 to 1.5 years. Always consult with a qualified hair restoration specialist for personalized advice and to ensure the best possible outcome.